Good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday with Spirit. For those joining for the first time, this is not a political poll, it's a spiritual poll. Every Sunday we come together, a group of us, and we dance and play on this web of creation that we've set up. And I was thinking about, I got a video about some people on the other side of the world and their religious practices. And when I was up in the Pacific Northwest, I picked up a book on indigenous myths and stories, and a lot of the creation stories that I find fascinating. How we evolve into whatever creation we believe in, how the world came about. As many of you know I grew up in a Catholic household. So they believed in God creating the world in 7 days. I'm like, really? I was thinking about that. 7 days. Wow. Didn't spend much time on some of the things. Maybe he could have, if he spent more time, or she spent more time, then maybe the avocado pit would have been the right size, as George Burns would say. So, but they're all so similar. And we're in this portal energy of Lionsgate, 888. And Nancy Jean and Dorothy Morgan and I did a video on Nancy Jean's channel about Lionsgate, talking about the astrological forces involved and a little bit of the ley lines. And there was so much more to it than just than what we covered in that short video. And so I wanted to look at it a little deeper, but not. So I was thinking about this, and I pulled 3 cards that I thought were really good, and this is not the spread. I'm going to hit pause and pull the spread out later, but this kind of prompted me. The 3 cards I've gotten, I'm using my Shaman's Dream deck. I don't know, there we go. In your hand, the universe is your partner. And so as we're focusing in on this portal energy of abundance, of what we want, we can feel this energy, and we feel that there is a partnership in the universe with our galactic sisters and brothers. The second card that I pulled was the Benefactor, grace and generosity. And when I looked at this, it's about giving and receiving. And it's the grace of receiving from the benefactor, from the universe. So often, for me, I have a hard time receiving. I have an easy time taking. I'll take anything. Okay, sorry. Squirrel moment. But when people want to give me something, I go, I don't need it. I'm okay. I got this. So even when they're offering healing, no, I got this. So there's a grace in the receptivity, if that's a word, that the universe gives us. We have to gracefully receive it. And then the third card I got was the Eye of the Needle, intentionality. And during this time, and this is what I was talking about on Nancy Jean's show, at least I was trying to get this across. What is your intention? What is our intention in this vortex of energy? What do we want to see happen? And see happen, feel happen, experience. And in this time, we can do a couple of different things. We can pray for the right intentions. We can pray to give healing out to the world, good thoughts, ask for certain things. And in that prayer, for me anyway, my attention span is very short. So if I go into ritual, it extends my attention so that I'm focused more on the prayer, the gifts, the wants, what I'm sending out, what I'm receiving. And it's almost like I am the benefactor, sending things out as well as receiving things in. The comment of like if you're gonna, as a teacher, as somebody who shows up and facilitates an experience, I know in my role as a dive instructor, I received more from that than the students did. Every time I taught a class, I learned something more. I received more than I thought I could. It's fascinating. And I thought I knew everything. Yet I didn't. Okay, another squirrel moment. So ritual. And then it goes back to intentionality and action. What is the action that we're going to take to add to the prayer, the ritual, to complete the triad, so to speak? All right, I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to pull some cards, and we'll be back. Okay, back again. So what I've laid out, still using my shamanic dream cards. These are through the eyes of soul cards and true black. Prayer, ritual, action. And I invite you all to use your own interpretation for these. Everyone's a little different. When you flip a card over, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And they don't need to be in any order. This is just to give it some shape, some form. But as we know, life really doesn't have a form. We imagine it does, but oftentimes it throws us for a loop and we go, oh my gosh, we are off our path. We're off the form. So let's just take a look. In this time of portal energy, and every day really can be a portal energy, but this just seems to be has a little extra sauce to it. All right, the very first card. Metox, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. When we go into prayer, when we hit that higher level of consciousness where there is no, we're tapped into the higher realms. It's like a spa sometimes. We get into this meditative state. We listen to this beautiful music, tones maybe, sound baths. When was the last time we had a sound bath? I'm due for one. All right, moving on. Me talks. This is prayer. Eyes of the eagle. Rising above the fray. Yes, yes, yes. When we're down in the fray, it's really hard to pray because we're focused on how do we get out of the fray? How do we manipulate the fray? How do we mend the fray? So we're all into the how and maybe the why of it, but when we get above it and just observe the path that we're on, where we're headed, maybe where we've come from, and we're just observing. We're not in it. All right, and jeweled web connectivity. Prayer. Everything that we think about, everything that we pray about, as we're on this web of creation, vibrates throughout the web of creation. It vibrates back to us. What we pray about for somebody else comes back and hits us right between the eyes. And it's like, bonk, ay, 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 thank you, may I have another? Jeweled web connectivity. I love this. I want to get into that Me Talks bathtub. Just kind of chill. Listen, look at bubbles. Feel the waves. All right. Through the eyes of soul. This is the ritual line. Between powerful spaces, between opposite poles. And I look at this image, and for me, I go to the four directions. And in this four directions, the center of the four directions is earth and sky. And so it's honoring what the directions offer. It's giving a focus to stay in this Me Talks above the fray, the connectivity. This four directions, six directions, they're all connected. If you have a new beginning, if you have the east, you have to have the west energies along with it. For the new beginning, for the new path, sometimes you have to heal the old ways, let go of the old ways to start on the new ways. And in the south, you need the strength to walk the path that you're on, that the eagle sees in the east. And you need so the south gives you the strength, the north gives you the rest so that you have the strength. The north also gives you the spirituality. For me, it does. They're all interconnected. Okay. And moving on, and we have a double. Get a bonus card on this one. Lift the curse, forgive. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ritual, ritual, ritual. Lift the curse, forgive. This particular card is not a one and done at all, right? If you say, okay, I'm going to go pray that I forgive myself for some of the things that I have done in the past, it's not easy. The words sometimes ring hollow. So we really have to do the ritual of cleansing. Maybe it's writing it down on a piece of paper, and really doing a journal entry to it, and then letting it go into a sacred fire, and then take that space that is now empty and pack it full of love. And that is so hard. How can we forgive one of our things that we're not proud of and put love in its place? It's like, no, shouldn't that pain still be there so I never do it again? Yeah. Goes back and forth. And the bonus card is the sacred journey, pilgrimage. It's the journey of letting go, of forgiving ourselves. And the third card, magic is alive. Ask your divine child. Ask your divine child. One of the things that I said on Nancy Jean's show was, give your inner child something your elders never gave you. Maybe it was a hug. Maybe it was more candy. But it was probably some understanding. When I was growing up, I grew up in a very loving family. However, my father was, I always wished that he would sit down and really talk to me more, and he never did. So now I'm talking to myself all the time. I'm not so sure that's right either, but it's not wrong. Especially if it's coming from a higher source, from this jeweled web of connectivity. Then again, if he would have said and sat down and explained it all, would I have listened? There's the other thing. That goes back to the great benefactor receiving. So often somebody will say something and we'll go, wow, why didn't you tell me this before? And they'll say, well, we've been saying this for years to you. So, anyway, moving on to the action cards, True Black. Strength. How often do we start in a journey? It's interesting that it's in this four-directional cross. It's right below what I consider south. But I have south, north, east, west, my perspective. So, how often do we start off with something in our actions that we're like all gung-ho, and then we get into it and we go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have the strength to keep going. Yes, you do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Sometimes we may need to go do a detox, get rid of that negative attitude. Get rid of the lack of strength. All right, second card. Action card? Let me think. The Chariot. Movement. Fast movement sometimes. And this goes along with the Strength card because it takes strength to manage the horses on the chariot. And I don't know if you can see the hidden artwork in that, as it's another portal energy that that he can drop into with the moon and the stars and planets. And certainly this goes to the Lionsgate portal with the star Sirius. That is not so. So the strength and movement, the strength that it takes to move. I wonder if it's, well, you know, I'm going, does it really take a lot of strength? Do I need to train for the strength? Well, that's where the ritual comes in. That's where the prayer comes in. And then we get growth, 7 of Pentacles. We get review, we're looking over things, we're writing things down. This is a card that we have to manage the growth. We have to manage the movement and our strength as well. The strength can't be too strong, overpowering. I'm seeing. It just needs to be the right balance of all of this. All right. Prayer, ritual, and action. I can mix them all up, and they will all tell the same story, I bet, just in a different order. So what cards stand out to you? The Metox, the web of connectivity rising above the fray, the powerful space between opposites. That's huge. In today's climate, we have such opposites. The space in between, the in-between space, the center space, the God Force space. The sacred journey, letting go of the curse. Oh my gosh. Letting go of the curse. How about asking your divine child to show you the magic, the playfulness? And then the action. The action's the easy part. Movement, strength, and growth. All right, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all on this beautiful Sunday. Peace and love.